Back on the Rob Dibble Show, live from Duncan Park. President of the Hartford Yardgoats is sitting down with us right now, Tim Restall, and he was gracious enough to help get this bobblehead for yours truly and go through the company that makes them, because it's the best one I've ever seen, and take us through the process of how one gets a bobblehead.
You know, it's all about being a great model. You know, and I think, Rob,
did he come in and do the leg kick for everybody and like pose?
Multiple times.
Good job, Dibs.
Yeah, no, we use a company called Success Promotions, and they do all our promotional giveaways. They do a great job, and so part of it is coming up with the design, but the other part is coming up with the box, and I think the box is just as impressive as the bobblehead with all the facts and it just adds to it. So this is our second bobblehead of our year. So we went with a Connecticut theme this year. You know, Chris D'Onofrio, who was our.
How was Chris with his bobblehead?
He was good, and he actually has a bobblehead story prior to doing this. So if you Google Chris D'Onofrio bobblehead, you'll see a story about what happened in San Diego, where they did a bobblehead of him, and like a week before it was supposed to be given away, he got traded to the Mariners, and then like 6 months later, someone woke up and found 300 bobbleheads on the front stoop of their apartment in San Diego, and he tells the story as they must have been on the way to the dump to get thrown away, and they fell off the back of a truck, and a bunch of college kids threw it on this guy's front stoop. So, so that was his bobblehead story, and that was pretty funny. But he loved the bobblehead, and we went with the Connecticut theme, and obviously we're big fans of Rob Dibble and the Rob Dibble Show, and Ben sometimes.
You're excellent.
You know, it worked. Maybe next year, Ben.
One thing I love. So I remember this D'Onofrio story. It was the day he got here, opening press conference. You had said, "We are going to get you a bobblehead. Don't worry about it, D'Onofrio." Man of your word. I remember this kind of got set up in our studio. Man of your word coming through on Dibbles as well. I just love the details of this place. I was talking to Dibs about this at the beginning of the show, how you guys try to cover every basis possible. I mean, you had a weird power cord for us to actually get on the air, which I told you, I go, no way you got this, Tim. Some weirdo from your tech department came down and had it. The details on this bobblehead, I mean, you got red shoes for the Reds. You got the Southington. You got the number perfect and the leg kick. Not to mention, Dibs always says, people always think about the bobblehead, but the box is also
tremendous.
Worth it. And, like, all those little details. Looking around this park, it's full of these little details that the Yardgoats take care of.
Yeah, we try. We want the experience to be the best in the best that can ever be when fans come to the ballpark. So a lot of details are very important, and we just try to always start with yes, right? We try to figure things out. So just because it was a strange power cord doesn't mean we don't have strange power cords in some closet somewhere left over from our days elsewhere. So it's always about putting a smile on people's face. And that's what we try to do here every single day with our fans, with our players, with our sponsors, with our media partners, with everybody, the community. And that's really what we try to do here.
Talking to Tim Restall, the president of the Hartford Yardgoats. All right, so the last time we were here, Bears Barbecue was in the left-hand corner. It was Dunkin' Donuts Park. Now it's Dunkin' Park.
Yep.
You had to change this giant coffee cup out. What was that logistically like?
Yeah,
I mean, you had to have a crane from where to pull that thing out of here.
Yeah, so our friends from Sign Pro down in Southington did a great job with it.
That's local?
That's local, yeah. So they actually
right off of 84. I love those guys. I've got signs from them.
They do a great job. Pete and the team down there, and literally we were getting text messages the day it was being taken down because people were seeing the cup on the highway. And literally,
awesome.
Taking photos, where's the cup going? And so
where is the cup?
It's the cup went to it's the same cup. So
what?
So
they wrapped it.
So they made it iced coffee, right?
They made it iced coffee.
Yeah, and the other part about that cup is that you can see the big straw, but the part that's really unique about this cup is that top black ribbon that goes around it is an LED board. So before the cup used to steam, right?
Right.
And the problem with the CO2, and not to get into a whole technical world, is the humidity affects CO2. So if the Yardgoats hit a home run and you hit the steam button, sometimes it would steam, sometimes it wouldn't. And we would get more people upset that the cup's not steaming than the Yardgoats won the game over, with a home run. So we did a digital ribbon board. So that dances, and we're able to theme that with some of our promotional nights.
Awesome.
During national anthem, the American flag's up there, so it just really adds to it. But yeah, and that cup has been got pelted during the Home Run Derby X.
Let's talk about that.
Had the scoreboard,
too.
too.
The scoreboard had like 5 missing panels, I think.
At least.
You were talking to Solomon. He was cool with it.
Yes.
He's like, I'll take care of this.
Josh was cool
and
with
the
it.
MLB said they had big insurance policy for it. But
Okay.
Jake Arrieta, he just peppered the ball. And, we did, when we were planning this out, we were looking at statistics on, using our TrackMan data, like how far the ball goes and everything. It should be good. And literally after the first pitch, I'm like, we're going to be in trouble. But the good news is, literally it was a 15-minute fix, and it was the gentleman that got you the power cord, Mike Delgado from a production team.
Delgado is the man.
He is the man. So it was great, and it worked out really well. And that was just a great experience at the ballpark with so many people to come in, and we were very honored to be the first baseball team or ballpark in the country to host that home run. They just got done this weekend down in Fredericksburg. So.
Oh, awesome! That was an awesome night.
Who had more? Who had more people?
They looked like a good crowd.
We did.
But actually, so the gentleman that won it with Jake,
he won again.
He won it again. So they had him go down there.
The kid from Bridgeport with him.
Yeah,
but you put him with
Wise.
Ian Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond.
Wise.
Yeah, so
Ian
he got
Desmond
drafted.
was
He got
down there, right?
drafted, and
Ian
so
got him.
nice. Yeah, so we got some Connecticut blood just
That's
breaking,
awesome.
breaking records.
Good for him, man. He had such a local crowd here, too, supporting him while he was here. That was an awesome night. Again, the scoreboard got busted up. You had a lot of stuff on the field as well to take care of. 3 nights later, the Savannah Bananas, the world-renowned, the biggest baseball sensation in the country, was here in Hartford. Word on the street is, you didn't know this, but at the end of the game, they invited everyone in the ballpark down on the field. And then all of a sudden, there's 6,000 people on your field, and your grounds crew is freaking out.
Yeah, they didn't freak out too bad.
Tell me about this night.
So, part of the fan experience, and they're a big fan first, and that's what aligned us with them, and that's why we originally reached out about having them come to Hartford, and they wanted to come to Hartford, was that it's all about the fans. So part of their experience is, never mind the entertainment, never mind the music, never mind the merchandise, but really the post-game getting to see their players and being in a downtown ballpark between, literally 4 streets. They don't have a large parking lot adjacent to a ballpark here, so we had to improvise, and we did it right on the field, and it was fine. You can look at the grass; it's all still there.
Beautiful.
It didn't
fine.
go away.
Looks great.
And it was a great experience. So I know, people were just so excited to go down and see the Banana players and have a great time. And what an electric night in Hartford. Over 6,000 people here on a Monday night in August was great. So a lot of excitement.
What else is coming up in the last 12 home games you have
12
coming up?
home games, yeah. So we got games till Sunday, and then we're off on Labor Day, and then we're back Tuesday through Sunday. So a lot of 11. We have a doubleheader tomorrow. So there's
What
really
time does it start?
5 o'clock.
Okay.
Gates open at 4:30. So really, it's 11 games in 11 days that we have, and it's going to be jam-packed, and then we'll see what happens after that. But we're excited to end the season on a strong note.
Mr. Peterman from Seinfeld's here tomorrow.
He is.
Something
Yeah.
like that, man. Dibble Bobble tonight. I don't know how you're going to top that, honestly, throughout the rest of next year on top of the rest of this year. But I just love this ballpark. The bones of it are spectacular, and that's what I think all the baseball players love the most. Your locker room facilities, your batting cage. I love the dugout suites, too.
Yep.
Those little intricacies of this park make it so unique. But when you look around, just looking at the opening gate, it is totally different than when you started in 2017. You have just, I want to say,
tweaked a lot of things.
Tweaking
absolutely.
a little here and there, and you notice it all over the place.
One of the things is we always how can we be better, right? And the baseball is taken care of on the field, and the Rockies handle that. But we want the fan experience the best it can be. So what can we do to improve the parking? What can we do to improve the entry? What can we improve the experience, the food and beverage experience, the beverage experience, whatever it may be. So we have a lot of things that this year was great with the relocation of Bears to center field. That was one of our bigger projects, and that has worked out extremely well. It's really changed the dynamics of the ballpark now, where people are now walking around more than they have in the past. So we've been able to see that flow, and new merchandise in the store and new brands like the Bouncing Pickles and the Hartford Schoolboys this year. So every year we raise the bar, and at the end of it, we're like, how are we going to make it better next year?
How are you going to top yourself?
Exactly.
I think it's easier to play left field with Bears out of there, man. That smell was chemical warfare out there. That's why Tim Tebow didn't make the
get
Mets.
lost. You get lost. You're like,
man, I want some barbecue.
Yeah, you wish
brisket?
it would. That's a great
cornbread?
distraction.
Oh, man, the ball's coming.
Macaroni and cheese. What time does this game get over? Oh, the ball's going over my head. Damn it.
It's just an awesome experience. I didn't get to thank you personally. I always thank you for this. Just having my staff and really it's me, and I bring my staff along to be at batting practice.
Oh, the batting practice.
And just run around the field. Our guy John Ashmead, I don't know if he's here, or we brought him here for you just in case you wanted to throw him in a uniform. I know he was turning heads out there when we were doing BP.
Yeah.
But that's just an awesome experience, man. It's not only us, it's everybody. You try to give the common person, mainly the kids, a chance to experience being out on the field, being in dugouts, being with players.
Yeah, and that was our season ticket holder sponsor, batting practice. So just a little thank you for supporting the team and for coming out. And what a better way to, experience is to grab a bat, grab a helmet, go out, take some cuts, and really shag some fly balls, just be on the field. And another event that we try to do at the ballpark. Again, it's not rocket science. We're just trying to be in the business of putting smiles on people's faces, and that's what we try to do here. So you have 11 more chances to get a smile on your face this year.
There you go. And you guys are like when the Travelers is here, you take care of the golfers and their families. I'll just give you guys so much props on this. Jason Aldean, after the shooting in Las Vegas, obviously his whole band and everybody in his whole company was traumatized by that. We shut down the Yardgoats Stadium. We played a doubleheader in softball, so they could kind of clear their heads a little bit and go through the trauma together and stuff like that. So you guys give constantly, but I think it's reciprocated. I think people
absolutely
love coming here, and just talking to Mike, who's your general manager, about continuing that trying to get all these people to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. I think it's satisfaction that every time you bring your family here, it's a very satisfying feeling.
Yeah, thank you. We always try to make that the best experience it can be. And like last Friday, we had a back to school event with Angels of Edgewood, a great community event where kids were getting backpacks, groceries,
right.
a lot of people here to that. And it's like, the part of it is that we want this to be everyone's ballpark. So, whether you live in Avon or on Albany Ave, we want you to come down and have a great time and enjoy it. And that's really what it comes down to. So
it's been a lot of fun, man. We can't thank you enough. Every time we're here, we have a blast. The one thing, too, I would say, and I think this is the biggest prop, the Whale W used to be a moniker of you're from Connecticut, you're from Hartford. As much as that brand is still out and about, and again, you're using the colors like everyone does around here, rightfully so. When I see a Yardgoat hat at a Rockies game, or even a non-Rockies, like an MLB whatever, like there's something special about that now, that brand to me represents Hartford.
Yeah,
represents Connecticut.
Yeah, it really
represents Connecticut.
Absolutely. I literally got a text message from a friend from New Hampshire that was at a Red Sox game and took a pedicab over to Fenway Park, and he sent a picture of the guy wearing a Yardgoats hat, right?
Awesome.
I mean, so that's it's one of the things that even to this day, walking down the street, I'm at the mall, whatever it is. I literally was at a game in Fenway this year when the Rockies were in town. And I literally went, a gentleman, we were in line to get ice cream, get my son ice cream. The guy was right next to me. I looked over. I go, "Oh, you're a Yardgoats fan." And he goes, "Actually, my son, played on the Yardgoats team, Little League team, and I bought a hat." and we're from Newton, Mass, but I'm going to go down to the game. So I give him my card. I'm like, you're going to be my guest. You're going to come down. And, it transcends, represents Connecticut, really, is what it comes down to.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I wanted to ask you about the guys that were here for the Home Run Derby. Did you get any feedback?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Because you know how much I love it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I said this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This ballpark is better and nicer than when I played in the old county Milwaukee Stadium at the end of my career. This is so gorgeous. The batting cage is underneath, just everything. The amenities, everything is top notch. Did they say anything?
Yeah, so the first night when we were setting up, I was in the batting cage, and Trot Nixon was setting up a pitching machine. And I'm like, he looks a little familiar. And I'm like, what the hell
are you doing out here?
And then I got to meet Johnny Gomes, and we were out setting up stuff in the outfield, getting ready, and they were just both blown away about how nice this ballpark is. And then I was fortunate to go out to dinner with those gentlemen, along with Dexter Fowler and Jake Arrieta.
Oh my God, are those two guys amazing?
And Dexter was saying how there was never played in any type of minor league ballpark like this growing up, and how great it is, and and especially him having history with the Rockies and such. And Jake was talking to you, and it was funny. They were talking about their stories in minor league baseball and how they played at different stadiums, and there was Dexter was talking about playing in Idaho Falls, and how that facility versus this facility and how much different it is. So they had a great time. And they really enjoyed Hartford.
I think it's great for the franchise, too, honestly. Like Ezekiel Tovar, guys that you've had here just recently and gone up. To me, and Dibbs, you can probably speak more in this way more than I can, but it's such a professional, not AAA,
it
not
prepares you for the big
right,
leagues.
Exactly. It's MLB style when you're playing here. Yeah,
I can't remember the player's name, but the first year when we were on the road and we were playing in Norwich, I brought the team through for an interview. To do a tour of the ballpark. And one of the players said, if I never knew that there was a payday at Major League Baseball, I could play the rest of my life in Hartford. Just the facility, the crowds, everything about it. So it's really, the Rockies love it because, on a, like a Tuesday night last night, we had almost 5,000 people here cheering on the team. And, they won it in the ninth, which, what more exciting for a fan aspect to see it come from behind win and really have electricity. And literally we were walking, I was walking on the concourse and I heard the fans erupt, and I'm like, we won. It's great. So
Tim, as always, my friend, you're part of our family. We love being a part of your family. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for Bobblehead Night.
Absolutely. So, are we betting on? Or I guess we can't bet on the radio, but
no, we can't.
On sports betting all the time now.
So, two things. One is it going to be a ball or strike?
I think it will be a strike.
And then, what's the over/under on? Is it going to be
under.
Like 60? Because we got the gun. The gun's on.
55.
So
I say 55.
All right, then you have to let me warm up for a little bit.
This is what you need to do.
I haven't thrown a ball in months.
Do what you want to do, but make sure the scoreboard says 105.
That's all.
One last time.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
We'll have it nailed.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you very much. And of course, we've got Jeff Dooley, play-by-play announcer of the Yardgoats, coming on at 4:25. We'll talk more about the team when he comes on. We'll be right back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell live from Duncan Park.